Hi everyone, and in particular you. I'm in the jail, in particular in Louisiana, and it's really now about the lawyer filing paperwork and with the wife keeping her eye on that and relaying messages back to me on visits. So the paperwork went in at different times, then there was waiting periods. I did ask if the British Embassy knew I was here or anyone was going to come, because you don't know these things. And I was told, yes, the British Embassy are aware of you. They did nothing. Then they had this guy who was sort of looking at people's cases, and he would visit, and he got inundated. Everyone was like piling around like a football crowd trying to get his attention. And he would just pick off the odd person to speak to and then go. So getting information was difficult. But the key part of it was going through this period of time in that particular jail. Paperwork was being filed and paperwork was being filed again. And that was a period of time that was going on when you just lived in hope. You get a snippet of information that made you think things were going the right way, and then there'd be a stall, there'd be a time gap, then you'd hear nothing. Eventually, until it was put in front of a judge. There was no video link. I wasn't taken to any court or anything like that. It was just a case of the judge looking at a piece of paper and making the decision and rubber stamping it one way or another. So there was a decision that they didn't know who this guy was. The judge said, I don't know who this guy is. And he looked at my name, and because it's an Irish name, even though I was born in England, he decided I could be anyone and I could be a member of the IRA. Absolutely ridiculous, insane. So for the benefit of anyone that doesn't know anything about the IRA, they're the Irish Republican Army, and they were involved in terrorism. I believe that they were in a struggle and a cause, and the struggle was to unite Ireland in their belief, and the cause was making that happen. And they wanted the cause to be highlighted, so they decided to start bombing in Ireland and in London. Difficult to believe, but they blew Harrods up and blew my mother's windows out, and she had a flat there, and flying glass injured her quite badly. And for some reason, because of my name, I was linked with that. That was just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So there I am with all my life in turmoil and getting rubber stamped negatory on the basis that I may be linked to some Irish disbanded terrorist organisation. It was absolutely ridiculous. There's no evidence of that. It was never looked into. But it was scripted that was the reason. Didn't know how it was, not enough information, and I could be that guy or that guy, and no, I was turned down. Rubber stamp, bosh, done. The appeal process on this would have taken God knows how long, and I was at the end of my tether. I'd been in that jail for 3 months. For someone that has never experienced that situation, it was traumatic, to say the least. And you just want your freedom back, no matter where you're sent or what the basis of that is. In actual fact, when I did manage to speak to someone from ICE, they'd seen that I'd been in the Bahamas for a trip, and they were going to deport me back to the Bahamas. And then they decided, no, we're not going to do that. He's English, we'll send him back to London. Then it was just a waiting game to see what happened next.